Today, as I sit down to fill a sketchbook spread, I thought we could try and draw a princess based off food. Not just any food, but a specific holiday treat. Peppermint bark. So basically what I'm planning on doing is designing a character princess off of peppermint bark, so it limits our color palette, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just really feel like drawing a giant, huge, poofy princess dress. So let me just kind of lay out the size of that where it might fit. Here we have our base shape and construction of the outfit and the character. Now we need to add some pizzazz and make it more original, specifically by taking inspiration from our peppermint bark. So let me see what kind of colors. We have red for like the candy cane pieces. You have like a creamy white for the white chocolate. So maybe go with like a light pink for that. Or maybe even a bit of a yellow. We'll have to swatch these. And then for the dark chocolate layer, because there's chocolate, white chocolate, peppermint pieces, and go with some of these rich brown colors. So that's kind of the color scheme we're working with. We'll see how the colors all look together, and then from there I should be able to pick the ones I want. So now that I have some of the colors down, I can take more inspiration from that. And I kind of just want to draw a little peppermint candy. You know, they're like a circle, those little things. Boom. Look at that freehand circle. Looks like there's two different kind of designs for these peppermints, so I guess I'm gonna be drawing two. We'll see which one I like best. So it looks like one of them has more like a wheel sort of texture. So it's like a bunch of little red chunkies. There you go, a little candy. The other one that I like better, so I'm probably gonna end up going with, is more swirly. So the red, it's more red and white striped instead of white with like red blobs, right? So it like starts thicker on the ends and then it comes in and kind of like twists and gets tiny, and then that goes all the way around. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it looks like each one is different because of the way it's been swirled. And I think it's just a little bit more fun. Probably gonna end up going with that one. I like that way better. I never realized there were two different kinds of these. Well, now you know. I think these are more what I've seen in real life, even though if someone asked me what they look like, I would have described that. The brain's a strange thing. I also kind of want to draw some chocolate. Just so that I can get a feel for how the colors are going to look before we start trying to implement these into some kind of design. It's usually kind of square, at least the more factory made ones. Something like that. Well, let me lightly erase that, add a little line art, and then we can pop in some color. Might have to do a couple of them if I have trouble getting the colors down. Little chocolate bar. It looks like a computer screen. Hopefully color will fix that. And we want it to look rich and delicious. Chocolate's really shiny, I just realized. Just looking at a picture of like a Hershey's chocolate, it's got a lot of like white highlights almost. And definitely like really dark spots too. So move on to a darker one. Kind of make these look more deep by filling them in. It looks more like chocolate than the peppermint does. I think the color's a little off. It's like too bright. I think it's because I used that dark suntan was too red. Whereas we want it to be a little bit more cool toned, especially if we're going for a dark chocolate. What we could try, oh, but this can get ugly real fast. Let me try just a neutral gray on top of this. Oh yeah, that's pretty gross. Although it does kind of give that chocolatey appearance because it looks like chocolate kind of has a gray highlight to it. Ooh, I don't know. Add some highlights. I just started smelling chocolate. What the heck? I didn't think it looked that realistic. Just brainstorming here. Another thing that like chocolate's usually kind of associated with is like the wrapper, and the wrapper is silver. I wonder if that might be something we want to incorporate into the design. I'm definitely brainstorming here. You can kind of see how I'm jumping all over the place. Just trying to get as many ideas down on paper before they like fly out of my head and I don't catch them, because I kind of want this character to be pretty well thought out. I don't want it to be something that I'm just half attempting. I think it's probably also important that I actually try to draw a little piece of peppermint bark since that is what the character's supposed to be kind of, you know, based off of here. Candy cane pieces. Oh, I could also draw a candy cane. Wait, just put that there so I don't forget. There's all sorts of different peppermint sort of things. Some bite marks. Delicious. Let me know what your favorite winter treat is. Do you like candy canes just plain, or do you prefer them coated in chocolate like me? I'm at the point where like if I try to eat just a candy cane, I'm like, feels like I'm just eating one ingredient of a much larger recipe. That was a little trickier to draw than the other two things. Maybe with color I can figure this out. So we want that. Let me start with the gray and then layer it with the browns and see if that makes a difference instead of putting the gray on top. So using it more of a base and then maybe putting that dark suntan back on top. And then some shadows. Yeah, I feel like that kind of worked. Maybe even just darken the whole thing up. Yeah, I'm really liking this cashew color for chocolate, and that's E79. Color in the white chocolate. Maybe yellow was a bad idea. Instead of ivory, let me go back to that pink. Because like we're gonna have pink in the peppermint, right? So maybe it'll make more sense. We need our little candy pieces on top. And I'm gonna try and make them more like that, or a candy cane and less like that. That's pretty hard because they're so small though. Now the other thing that this is making me think of is like freckles, because there's like little specks, right? I'm just gonna write the word freckles. That made me think of that. And I'm just gonna finish up this candy cane. I'm gonna do a little bit of a different design, because sometimes candy canes, you know, they have the swirl, but then they have like two skinny swirls and then a big swirl and then two skinnies and then more like that. And there we have our color scheme. Ooh, I'm excited. I feel like we were on the right track. So with these colors in mind and these sort of like shapes, these are all winter candies, right? I think maybe the princess should maybe be wearing a more winter outfit, and winter has like snowflakes. Winter and princess makes me kind of think of like the hand muffs, like the little fluffy things you put your hand in to keep your hands warm when you're going on like a sleigh ride. I'm not speaking from experience. Hands in it to keep them warm because they don't have gloves or something. I'm just drawing the head because I don't know what to do. And now it ended up being very large. Now if we're gonna have like a little muff, we should probably include some other fluffy bits of the... What if it's like a cape? So then that gives us layers. And peppermint bark has layers, so maybe our princess should too. Feeling a little too Belle Christmas dress. And I kind of want to make it my own a little bit more. I probably don't need the legs in there. It's not a transparent dress. Definitely need to include some of these like fun stripes somewhere. I mean, we could do it straight on the dress, but that might be a little out there. Actually, if we have the like dress stripey and then this coat that comes over top, more of a solid color, either brown or red, it'll kind of like subdue it a little. And then it might not be as much in your face. Add a little tone in so I can actually see. Wait, I think I just filled in the opposites of the stripes. Oh well, I may do. Kind of need to draw from a different angle. It's a little frumpy looking at the moment. Probably should give them some pupils so they're a little less demonic. Still have no idea what to do for hair. We definitely need a crown so people know she's not a princess and not just an extravagant dresser. Maybe we add some of that poof, winter poof at the bottom of the coat. Thinking some kind of like, make it look more expensive. Add some embroidery of some kind. Kind of imitating this shape. Just kind of sketching it out though. See how it would look. Ooh, that might work. Ooh, I like that. Little stars of some kind into the embroidery. That makes it look so much more expensive, doesn't it? Ah, we still need to do hair. Maybe an updo. It's just so boring though. I'm trying to think of like winter hairstyles, but like what makes a hairstyle winter? Whenever I leave my hair down and I put on a coat and a hat, my hair gets this like giant nest in the back of it. So maybe updos are more wintry, or braids or something. I mean, we could do really crazy hair that's like peppermint and red and white, but then I think we'd need to tone down the skirt. That might be a little overkill. And I think we're also forgetting that peppermint bark is kind of like layered like this. And I've kind of just sort of like thrown it all over the place. You could just do like a short hair. It does kind of fit the design a little bit. Go ahead and draw like another angle here, with some similarities and like a few little changes. Just kind of want to see it from a different angle. And we'll throw in some colors in this little thumbnail too to see how they kind of like fit, kind of just thrown in there. Make sure all the tones don't clash too much and they're all well laid out. Ooh, what if it's like hair kind of like this, like a fun ponytail? We have the hood. the cape that kind of like comes down like this. Oh, we could put something fun on the back if we make it poof out a little bit more. I'm kind of just gonna skip the little muff. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a muff. I'm gonna just go with gloves, like white gloves to kind of imitate the white chocolate. And I want those stripes. I definitely want to thumbnail the idea with the candy cane stripes. Let the cape blow a little just so we can see it from behind the dress. Let's lighten the sketch and add some really simple line art on top. Just something about the earrings really makes it look so much more princessy. There's no separation between the hair and the forehead at this point. But that's what further iterations will be for. Now color. Kind of want the shapes of it though to be more like this squiggliness. I wonder how I could do that. Like while still maintaining the shape of the dress and not making it too confusing. I'm not really getting the shapes right there. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it now that I've seen it with colors. Oh wait, I do have a darker red. Peony. Oh, but now it's a little mushy from the other colors. Nice to see it kind of in action though. And I think I want to use that really dark red for the top. Ooh, I really like how that looks. I feel like hair probably would be white because that's like the layer that's on top. So something at the top should probably be white. I don't want to include like any extra colors if I don't have to, you know? Let's see how stripy hair looks. Might as well try it. Yeah, but then we end up with this really large area of no color and I don't like that. We can make the inside red. I don't know. These layers. Now I feel like the colors are getting too close together. What if I layer red and brown together? What does that look like? You know what? That's not bad because the stripes are a different texture, right? So they keep themselves separate from the coat. The only problem now is there's not enough brown because it doesn't give me that like chocolate bark kind of vibe. We got plenty of white, plenty of red, not enough brown. Could make the embroidery brown, but I feel like that's gonna end up looking a little bit like mud. Maybe she was frolicking through chocolate. I don't know. Let me try just adding like some dark brown over the hair. Kind of pulls away from like the magic-esque side of it though. All right, here's what I'm thinking. Chocolate bark, right? We got dark chocolate, white chocolate, peppermint. So maybe this dress, as much as I like the stripes, needs to be brown. The coat should be white, and then everything, all the accessories should be peppermint, because it's the flaky stuff at the top. Might as well try it, see how it goes. And I can take this time to try and change up her design if I come up with anything. I definitely like the white gloves, so I'm not sure if those will stay the same. I wanted to draw the stripes on the skirt, but I'm not supposed to. Let me try some long hair, why not? It would also include a lot more brown if I stuck with that color scheme. I totally forgot a crown, didn't I? Oh, I've got another thumbnail. Let's pop in some color. See if we can find something that works a little better. If I was just doing peppermint or candy cane, this would be perfect. Like, I don't think I would change anything. But the problem is, my inspiration was chocolate peppermint bark here, and it's just too pepperminty, you know. Even the white doesn't make me think of white chocolate, it just makes me think more of peppermint. So we're kind of missing like white and dark chocolate here. So we need to try something else. Okay, and then erase the rest of the sketch so we don't muddy the colors with our graphite. Chocolate for the dress. I don't know. It's not like digital art where you can just switch out the colors. You gotta redraw everything. Not that I'm opposed to that. It's time consuming. Oh, I kind of like the two tones of brown. It does give me a more expensive kind of luxury vibe. Kind of like that embroidery did for this skirt. If I go white for this, then we have to do peppermint for the hair, right? And then what do I do with this bow? I mean, I could have just ignored the bow, I suppose. What, do I leave the fluffy bit this color too? And then just add peppermint specks? Not that bad of an idea, actually. Kind of do it all over this coat. Almost gives it like an animal print texture. And then we could leave the white gloves. Then for the hair, we could do that fun sort of like My Little Pony peppermint hair. Where you get to kind of like draw the strokes like this. I don't know if that's still a little too pepperminty, but that's an idea there too. I'm just full of ideas, I just can't find good ones, you know? That's the tricky part. What we could do is add like a really dark color to the back of the cape. Then we'll have to draw it a little bit more so you see that, and then use that color for the bow. Or just cut the bow out entirely because the hair is so complicated. Okay, we definitely accomplished the more brown and the more white. This, I think, is definitely heading in the more peppermint bark directions. I'm happy with the progress. Still needs some tweaks, though. Like, I feel like it needs something happening at the bottom there. We could use that really dark, rich brown. Where was that? And add some embroidery. Maybe something that looks like a candy cane. Okay, it looks kind of like a goat. My bad. Let's go more candy cane on this one. Okay, that's giving me gingerbread vibes. And that is not helping with the chocolate. But now I want to draw a character that's gingerbread. But no! Gotta stick with what I'm doing. Gotta finish one idea first. Yeah, that is... Okay, the little dots and everything, it's definitely giving me more gingerbread house vibes. So, running out of paper, I wanted to do like a finished one there. Ooh, I know what I'll do. Okay, we'll use this room for more ideas. So, I'm using a coal erase pencil this time, so maybe I don't have to do the dumb erasing. I really love this hair. I kind of want to like do it more justice. Try that again. I think we're gonna have to just X out the bow. It's just too distracting when we have this really complicated hair. The chocolate. Maybe it's because it's too red? I don't know. I mean, chocolate's a little bit more... I guess I've never really paid attention. Let's add a little gray on top. See if it pulls away from the gingerbread cookie. You know what? It kind of does. It does look a little bit more like chocolate to me. After all, that's what we're looking for. What we could do is add the design to this. Then we get that peppermint embroidery, but it's just on the coat. Okay, that's kind of cute. And then maybe for this skirt, just keep it to like stripes or something. I mean, we could just do that design on top. It's peppermint chocolate, you know? Might as well try it. What is still not like selling the chocolate to me. Sketch another one here. Maybe she'll be actually doing something different for her pose, even though I have not figured out the outfit yet. Try and find her personality. How do you sit down in a princess dress? This was a bad idea. I need to figure out what the design looks like before I think I could draw it sitting down and condensed, you know? She's got some hair coming up that way. Oh, that's better. That's way better. A little wind blowing. I want to just sketch over this with the pencil. I know the plan was just to go over it with color, but not feeling very confident in the pose, so it needs a little extra work. I think my favorite part of this design is that everything's in the order that it is on like the actual treat. You have chocolate on the bottom, white chocolate in the middle, peppermint on the top. Kind of flows nicely. So I don't want to lose that if I adjust the colors. That's what I'm worried about. Wow, her face has changed a lot over time. She used to actually have a chin and now she doesn't. Oops. There's supposed to be a hood on this. That seems to have gotten lost. Pull her arms up a little. That way you can see her gloves. Got some wrinkles here of the cape kind of flowing over dress. Why don't I pull the hair up a little bit more so you can see it? That. And then I can add that fun swoosh. There we go. This looks like someone else's art style. I don't know what's going on in this face. I drew it. I saw myself do it. Lighten this sketch. Alright. What do we got? Oh, here. Go ahead and erase all the pencil. You know, besides the color erase, because that stuff's impenetrable. This obviously isn't exactly going to be noticeable with this sketch because it's so small. But what if her eyeballs were shaped like that? Like her pupils? That'd be weird. It'd probably be weird. Go in and be real creative with our brush strokes here. Make sure they're nice and fluid and they maintain a shape throughout the hair without like confusing the eye. They need to follow the strands of the hair. Then there should be a variety of the widths. I think more squiggly helps. I guess they can probably, you know, bump into each other. It shouldn't be perfectly straight. We have to make sure we leave some white space too. If we add too many stripes, it's not gonna look like a candy cane. There you go. I think I went a little too bacon up at the top, but I figured out when I got to the bottom, it needs to have more white in it. I could probably take this white paint marker, kind of add more space between some of these. And it won't be as perfect as white paper, but be close. It actually looks kind of cool. Might have to do that all over the place. It's like a pink. Kind of interacts with the marker underneath and makes it more of a pink. We're gonna just color in her eyes red for now because we can obviously go over that with something else and it'll probably settle it down. But there we go. And red lips. This is where it gets a little wish-washy because I'm not entirely sure what to do. But I think we can color in the coat, white chocolate. So we're gonna mix a little bit of ivory and pinkish white. I don't know how to make it look like white chocolate. That's such a hard color because it's like white, but it's like a creamy white, you know? You could try eggshell. That sounds right. Maybe that'll help. That kind of works. Then we need color in the gloves with this too. I must not use this color much. It's working really nice. I like the way it's interacting with the pink color race underneath. Beautiful! Subtle enough. White and creamy looking. Okay, this was perfect. E50, thank you. We can still use a little bit of the pinkish white for like a little extra something. And then the ivory actually worked really well. What was that, ivory? Yeah, ivory for like desaturating it a little. I think I should draw the candy cane pieces on top because like when I just blopped them, it wasn't quite the look I wanted. Whereas like, see how Peppermark, they're separate pieces, so I think the separate pieces will help and have them stick out. So like one can be coming out of there, one could be coming out here. And make sure I vary the shapes and sizes of them. Because it's just a bunch of crumblies, right? And like maybe concentrate most of them on the top of things. Maybe put some down here too. Let me color those in and see how they look before I put too many in here. Try to add stripes if I can, if they're big enough. Obviously a lot of them are going to be mostly white. Not a lot of surface area. Okay, that's working, I think. It's a little on the nose because it literally looks like peppermint bark. Maybe that made more sense. I do want to like put the little peppermints down here, the little designs. I'm gonna draw little circles to keep the shapes inside of and try to copy that. Gotta take into account where the wrinkles are. You don't want to just draw straight across, right? Oh man, I want to eat some peppermint bark so bad right now. But instead I'm drawing it. It's better for your figure. I think I want to add like the snowflakes in there too. I feel like that made sense to me. I'm just gonna draw little stars and speckles and magic particles. Kind of have them come up a little. Do the dress. The dark chocolate. How do I want to go about this? I think I like this last iteration of this one the best. I feel like this should be the easiest part because chocolate has like the least texture. The candy cane part should have been the hardest. I have so many browns that I don't know which one to start with. We'll start with this one because it has the word cocoa in it. Okay, yeah, that looks delicious. Go ahead and fill in the shapes. Yeah, chocolate is like really dark, so maybe that's what I need to go with this. Like, it needs to be that color. Yeah, more like that color. Exactly. Like I've done earlier. Go over it with this. Definitely desaturate the crap out of it. Mine's not milk chocolate. We're going for dark chocolate. Ooh, I like that gradient. Ooh, wait a minute. How can I take advantage of this without losing it? That looks like, ooh. I think I accidentally bumped into something here. So I need to like blend it out better. It's a little patchy. See, because like all the references to chocolate, they have like super harsh, bright highlights of like light just hitting them and it looks basically white. So maybe that's what I need to make it look more like chocolate. Like really bright highlights. Problem is it's like kind of deep in the coat, so not a lot of light's probably gonna hit it realistically. Ooh, shoot, what's happening? It's got a growth. I think if I'm gonna go that route, I need it to be darker. It's like where light's not hitting the chocolate, the most part, it's really just dark. Kind of changing this up on a whim. So look at all like chocolate. I mean, it doesn't need to look exactly like chocolate. It just needs to give the chocolate vibe, which I think I got from some of these earlier ones. So maybe I'm being too picky. So I'm not sure it's actually improving the design. All right. I don't know if you can even see that on camera, but I can. Now, we went really dark for the dress, so the skin might have to be pulled back a little. Start light and build up like I usually do. We'll start with the neck before we get to the face. How about that? That's better. Dance more like it. Oh, I never give her earrings. Shoot. Or a crown. Ah! Accessories are always my downfall. I just can never remember that they exist. Maybe because they're not part of my wardrobe either. You know what would also be cute is if I gave her green eyes. It'd be a little bit more festive. And that copper color worked really well for like blush, I think. Over rest of the face, as always. Alright, don't want to make any other changes. I think we've definitely gone in the right direction. There's way more white chocolate, way more dark chocolate, and lots of candy cane accents. Yes! I do want to add a little shading maybe to the hair. Not too much, just a little. kind of differentiate different layers of it. I like the way it like blends into the, looks so candy caney. Now I feel like the gloves are kind of like blending in a little, so I wonder if I could make them more pink, or we could just make them straight red. Ooh, or I could make them stripey and candy candy. Dude, what I'm gonna do is grab like a red, start with just like as in little extra texture. It does pull it away. I do think it looks good. That was said with a lot of confidence. This might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's happening anyway. Ooh, what if I leave it white with the hands? Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting. Ooh, I think I will do that. Instead of giving her jewelry, I did that. I'm really tempted to like go in digitally and draw this again. And if I do that, I will have the line art for you to color as well if you'd like to try and do the design yourself and maybe change up the colors, or I don't know. Put your own spin on it. Let me know what you think her name should be. I'll pick my favorite one and I'll post it when I post like something on Instagram with her in it, and you'll know her name. Let's draw her one last time. I feel like her name should be Peppermint Bark. Or PB, I don't know. I think I dropped this and now all the lead inside is broken. Give her a little bit more expression. Probably won't happen, but that's the plan. I really didn't do anything interesting with the face, did I? A lot of thought in it. Like we didn't do any like peppermint makeup or anything. Kind of reminds me of a character I drew last Christmas, to be honest. She had like a off the shoulder fluffy gown. My go-to winter dress, princess dresses. Not the part I'm still not entirely sure about. I mean, I could still visit her design again in the future here, but the peppermint bark flakes, a little on the nose. And yes, she has candy cane for hair, but that feels more creative, I think. The blobs of peppermint candy here. I should make her a friend that's just a candy cane that she can hang out with. Now I kind of want to like create like an everyday outfit for her, and an athletic outfit, and a sleepwear. Kind of like The Sims, you know, whole Sims repertoire of outfits. That's what I liked about The Sims 3. Create a style thing where you could pick stripes and change the colors of each of the stripes. You could literally make a character whose favorite food was watermelon, and everything they wore made them look like a watermelon. Oof. I miss those days. Endless hours in The Sims. Not sure what else I would change. I'm really tempted to draw her digitally. Yeah, if I do, maybe I'll throw in a little speed paint right here and just kind of show you how I made it. And then I'll definitely include some line art for you to color if you would like. That way you can use, if you like any of these three designs the best, you can color it with whatever colors you want. Maybe next week when we fill another spread in my sketchbook, I'll create a everyday outfit for her or something. That would be really fun. My favorite Christmas candy. But I think that is it for me today. Thanks for drawing along with me as I filled a spread in my sketchbook. I'll see you guys all next week, and I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!